Hello and welcome to Wrestleopinionated. This is our weekly show all about the shows of AEW. We are your hosts. I am Morg and this is...
Too sweet to be sour. Can't do it. Matt Strange. I was going to go off on one, but I'm like, nah. The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Funky Lunker Monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place. Yeah, Matt Strange. Hi. And this is...
Cleaning a graphics card with a toothbrush, Muir.
So what have you guys been up to?
For your teeth, Nick. Nerd games, largely. Getting excited about Total War. I'm getting my Beast memes. Wonderful. And we played some Space Marines on the weekend.
Being excited about things.
Oh no, I'm not allowed to like anything, am I?
No.
I'm sorry, I've been banned from liking things because everything I like turns to shit.
More on that later.
More on that later.
I just want to say, Strange, as an ex-chef, you know damn well that toothbrushes are used for more than just cleaning your teeth.
No comments on the actual habits in a working kitchen. Thank you. I haven't.
If you've never had to clean the underside of an oven with a toothbrush.
No, that's for the wash-ups. Fuck them. Go on, KP. Get in there. Lovely.
Yeah, chef.
Fortunately, I don't have a KP to clean this fucking graphics card.
I've screwed my back up, so I'm on short hours at work this week.
Shit, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hope you're all right.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Are you going to be all right?
You might get the odd little ow and bit of creaking. It's just my back. So
welcome to the only podcast where you can hear old people complain.
I bet you it's not the only podcast.
Oh no, tell lie. Jim Cornette's got a podcast. Sorry.
God damn it, you beat me to it.
So this may be the first time you've listened to our podcast, and as such, you would need to know that we have a tier list, which is how we give our scores for BTE on the whole, the individual matches, and Dynamite on the whole. We are no longer reviewing Dark or Dark Elevation until they become good.
Too much.
Yeah, and it's just a lot, and it just drags the podcast out. So, Mr. Strange, are you ready to explain the tier list?
I was fucking born ready, man. Let's go. Tier list. It goes through letters. You know it. It's from this podcast. It's from other podcasts. It's from computer games. It's a tier list. We start with our lowest rank, unless we're being facetious. We only go down to a D. That's a bad... Surely we won't need many of these. It's something where the show didn't connect with you or the audience, at least from your perspective. The wrestling was bad, the story was lame. Arguably, your time's been wasted and the entire thing could have been done better. That's a D rank match or section. Surely we won't need that. Surely not. From there, we rock up to a C. C is a good section, a good match. You've got good story, you're happy with what's going on in the ring. Sure, it's not mind-blowing, but, you know, good wrestling, bit of story, what you're watching the show for. Your average sections. Good. From there, we rock up to a B match or match plus one. Match plus one, it's a match or a segment that's great. You watch it and you go, that was really good. The wrestling's clean, you get to see some cool stuff. You know why the people are in the ring. You've had a good time. Doesn't take you out of the immersion and you're just more than happy with it. Hopefully, the best section of each week is a rank section. I mean, obviously, hopefully it's better than that, but an A rank section. It's got everything. The story's good. The wrestling's clean and cool, and you see some interesting things. You know why they're there. You know why they're going out. Or maybe it's just a phenomenal video package with some great, like, cutting and editing, something which builds up to the crescendo of the moment. That's what we want from an A rank match or an A rank section. I don't want to take my eyes off that TV screen. It's fucking good. And the top of the chart is the S rank match. Very rare. Very rare unless you're mixing Joshis and luchadors or undead wizards and Playboy models. S rank match is that phenomenal thing. You only really see it at a pay-per-view every now and then and you talk about it for fucking ages. The story's great going in. It's either a massive conclusion to a story or it's leading to another great one. Cool things are done in the room you've never seen. Spots that you're sending gifts to your mate. It's the best fucking thing ever. So D, it's bad. C, it's good. B, it's very good. A, wow. And S, holy shit. There we go. Let's do this.
So kick off with the news. A couple of pieces this week. Do you want to start off with the two AEW releases, Strange?
Yeah, sadly, looks like Awesome Kong has been let go or quit from AEW. We knew she was only going to be really doing things behind the scenes anyway because she had her back problem a while back. It's sad. I think she's got a lot of experience that could be good for their female division. But, what can you do? We don't know the intricacies of it. There we are. And also, sadly, Shanna has gone, which is an extra shame for me because I quite like Shanna, and I can quite openly now say that my missus chats with her on Twitter and stuff. Looks like she might not have got on with all the people in the background, and it's a shame, really. It's a real loss, I would say, especially with the women's division sort of being on a roller coaster right now. But other than Evie, who went recently, they're two of the most notable losses. Well, we haven't had a lot of losses from AEW, so yeah.
Yeah, the
Women's division
trying to
decreases.
be very careful about and a couple of strong losses there. Next piece of news is from New Japan. Therefore, I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Muir as one of our New Japan experts.
Oh, what's happened? Give me a rundown.
Jericho.
Oh, Jericho. Look, it could have been anything. It could have been Shingo and Okada for the title. Okay.
I'll tell you what, mate. I'll add a little bit of drama onto the end of this for you with some NJPWs I've just remembered.
What? Right, Jericho no longer has an NJPW contract. It's run out from his match with Tanahashi 3 years ago now. God, time flies. Basically, I don't think he'll need this contract anymore because I'd imagine that they're going to have some sort of open license agreement to sharing of talent, so he'd just be able to jump across if he wanted to. But we'll have to see what happens when it comes round to it.
I'm going to add a little bit of bonus NJPW news on the end, just for Muir. Okada was an interview which seemed lightly shooty, where he shit-talked the new title and said the old one was better. And he also made some mocking comment about best bouts, which is obviously what Kenny Omega claims. So maybe we're being worked. Maybe it's a real shit talk. Who knows?
Well, how I would have that match is Okada wins, he brings back the old belts, and he gives Shingo the IC belt. But that's me. It's a reset era. Just reset the fucking thing.
Save that, because more on random pitches later. Yeah, on the Jericho thing, I read a thing with him, an interview. There are so many people he wants to work with in New Japan still. So I have a feeling that he might be pushing to be allowed to go over there as part of this deal. He really wants to do a him and Kenny versus Ibushi and I can't remember who the other one was. He wants to wrestle Suzuki. So there's a lot of people he still wants to work with. And the final piece of news we have is more releases. This week, Dubsy released quite a few people and some big names. Aleister Black, Lana, Braun Strowman. Those are some...
Poor Braun. He just got his own train noises and everything.
Aleister Black was just on his return for his big push.
No.
Yep, he was literally...
they just released a T-shirt for him as well, and then he was...
They have been doing vignettes for him. He just...
I feel for the lad, don't get me wrong, but it is hilariously, comically timed.
Kicking Big E's head off.
Yeah.
Then they released him.
I don't mean to laugh at anyone's misfortune. It's always terrible when somebody becomes unemployed or, loses their push and has to, struggle to go somewhere else. Don't get me wrong, but it's just so Dubsy, isn't it? It's
Well, so we should probably speak about the elephant in the room. There's a lot of rumours going around that Vince is looking to sell. Now, Muir, you said you'd got something that kind of was counteractive of that.
From people talking to investors that had been saying that they hadn't been looking to sell, but the industry's so fucking carny, I wouldn't believe anything that's going on at all. So,
Yeah,
go on, Shad. Do it. Do it, Shad.
Budget cuts, inverted commas.
From my experiences with financials, I would always recommend to lower your outgoings, monthly outgoings, and then raise your profitability before trying to sell a company. which they have obviously been trying to do, but also they could just be getting rid of teams because they want to, make it more profitable. It wasn't making enough money, all right, guys?
Oh yeah, it's not like they've just released every people each year with ever increasing finances.
Yes, mate.
Let's hope Ring of Honor buys them. Go on, Ring of Honor. You can take down AEW for taking you down. I believe in you. You've got Joe Hendry and he's fucking wicked.
Should have kept the belt on Mayu, mate.
So now it's that time of the week where Mr. Strange pitches us a piece of social media he's found that's worth checking out.
So, personal, one of the favourites of mine. The critically acclaimed album by Max Caster and The Acclaimed is now available on iTunes and Spotify. I had a cheeky listen. It's mostly just the promo songs he's been doing and a couple of other little bit of things. But he's pretty good. He does Freestyle Fridays and stuff. Well worth a listen. I'd also suppose you should probably have a look at Andrade El Idolo's Twitter, as I think he's going to be a little bit big right now. He's had a company. Might not have had the most impressive return. More on that later. But he's a really good wrestler. He's the original founder of Los Ignorables. Well, one of the original Los Ignorables. His name does mean Andrade the Idol, which does point out to a lot of people that Penta means Penta the Zero Fear. But, that's linguistic changes. So, yeah. Rap albums from The Acclaimed, well worth a listen on iTunes and Spotify. Just look for Platinum Max and keep an eye on Andrade, because this could be interesting. I know he's been pushing for creative control, and people don't like that anymore because Hogan destroyed WCW and other companies with it.
Yeah. It depends how much they give. Right, moving on from there, it's time for the reviews of the week. And we open, as always, with BTE, or Being the Elite.
Right. I've got to say this was not
skippable.
Very skippable. I don't want to seem down today, but unfortunately the product being given to us is going to make me down on it. This was 13 odd minutes of just going on about shoes. Basically the whole thing.
Yay.
If anybody cares about shoes or wants to pipe up about it, I did find it funny that Kenny had to make a no-net shot before he'd go do the interview. That was my one highlight of it.
I'd forgotten that bit. That was pretty good.
And that made me laugh.
I've forgotten the rest of it.
Yeah.
Except for maybe trick shots.
The trick shots were good. I've got to hand it to the American football one where he runs the whole length of the pitch, then chucks the tennis court, and then throws the little ball back. Tennis court, mate. Court.
He's the best dad in the world.
Yeah, he is.
Just let us know. And I believe him.
And then them bribing, what's his name? Earl Hebner? Was it Earl?
No, it's the mad ref, Rick Knox.
It's
Rick Knox, that's
Knox.
it, sorry. I always forget which one. That was pretty funny. But...
I like a little meta joke about the bad refs, personally. I think that's... it took you mentioning it to remind me of it. I literally remember nothing of this episode.
Yeah, it's a D from me, boys. Sorry. They're normally real
I'm
good
with
at
you.
these PTEs, but this one was just boring. Probably because they were just too busy at Double or Nothing, which is completely legit. But, it is what it is.
They should just let Sammy do it with his vlog and stuff. That's a good reminder. I've got to see who wins the Friend Olympics. Cody's Friend Olympics on Sammy's vlog is really good.
Why?
Fuego is not doing well.
Why, oh why don't we get that Cody on anything else? Because it's the best Cody. I love Shitlord Cody, but now we just have this Cody. Anyway.
We get a different Cody. More on that later.
That's me.
Yeah, skippable BTE.
Yeah.
Very skippable.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything more.
I don't know whether it was a D, but it wasn't skippable, and I don't think it's worth watching, so it probably is, unfortunately.
It's the first,
Do you know what
first
I mean?
time we've ever given a BTE a D, so
Yeah.
I don't think we need to feel bad about it.
So, won't be giving any more of them. So, moving on to Dynamite this week.
Jesus.
Opens up JR Schiavone, Excalibur on commentary. Don Callis joins commentary, and we open with Pac and Penta versus the Young Bucks. In the beginning of the match, before it starts, Kaz attacks Nakazawa, and then the Bucks win after Brandon hits Pac with a camera. After that,
Cool.
Bucks attack Pac and Penta and Eddie Kingston for the save. What did you guys think of the match, and what score did you give it?
I think this might be the match I'm most positive about. Because I actually had a good time with this. I think it was quite fun and good. I love heel wanker Bucks. I'm really liking Assassin Kaz. It's very much... I like Kaz anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of this match was me just going, God, Pac's good. Like, that standing shooting star press he did. He just fucking gracefully whoop through the... He's a beautiful creature for a tiny dwarven king made of slabs of muscle and Nuki Brown. And his packing's great. I can't say it was the best match. There were a few strikes and kicks that looked a bit weak, but the cameraman wasn't helping, but it was still fun.
God.
We got a few brutal looking moves. Pac pulled out an overhead suplex on Nick that looked like it killed him, if you ask me. We get Penta's pump handle driver, which is great. The pop-up powerbomb. And I actually don't mind the kick off the back Canadian Destroyer. I think it makes it look a lot more organic and real.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they've added that. I did a proper lol at the mask under a mask because I thought that was going to happen in it. I was like, there's something off about this mask. It was just fucking great. Ref was a bit slow on the final counter, so it didn't look quite so much of like a cheeky win as it was. But otherwise, I had a fun time. It was good enough. I gave it a C. I was entertained.
I also gave this a C. The only things that I have that are negative about this are how much my girlfriend fucking hates the Bucks interference spam.
Really?
She fucking hates it.
Yeah.
She's so bored of it. She's just like, now they're gonna do this. And she just, and she doesn't really care that much about wrestling. I'm not gonna, try and say she's an amazing fan or anything, but when your common person that's just watching wrestling keeps complaining about it, maybe they need to try something else. But the moves were beautiful in this. I love Pac and I love Penta. Just wasn't anything special. I gave it a C.
Ready for Captain Positive?
Go on, Morg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a B. I enjoyed this. It was just over the top Bucks, but as I've said before, I just like the over the top Bucks matches with people that they can work with. I didn't really notice any of the sort of the negative stuff. I loved the Kaz bit at the beginning, and I really liked the Eddie coming in for the save at the end and setting up that, because that's an interesting story, especially as Mox is out injured currently. Inverted commas.
Couldn't Cody be off injured by now?
No, not yet. Soon.
You have to lose.
Okay.
So I gave it a B. I enjoyed it. Moving on from there, we had a Mark Henry promo. Any comments on that? It wasn't very long.
I liked it. I've not heard... Yeah, no, I think it was better than Big's intro. He just came out, said some things, bit of warm voice. He's nice to listen to. Done. Good enough. Nice.
Not against Mark Henry at all.
And then Mark Henry is interrupted by Vicky Guerrero. I had this spoiled by YouTube. Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bit of a shame. It was quite amusing because during the first match, the Raptor turned around and said, Andrade to come out for the save for for Pac and Penta. And I was just like, I can't say anything. I'm going to sit here and look at my phone. And then Andrade
No, it wasn't that cool.
El Idolo debuts in AEW and cuts a bit of a promo. What did you guys think?
Well, first my eyes started bleeding when Vicky Guerrero's voice shrieked in, which is obviously the point. I got excited because obviously my little Los Ignorables heart was like, Andrade! He claimed he was going to beat the face of the company, so it looks like he's taking on Brit for the women's title.
Finally.
Little awkward. Not great pacing, and I did feel a little bit because when it panned to the crowd for their reaction, a good few people were cheering. AEW was built from the indie shitters in quotation marks.
Yeah.
But there was a man in a big Papa Pump shirt who had no idea. He was like, and as much as I like Andrade, and I'm big on this fucking, I am excited for what could happen. I don't think that was the way to present him. I don't think he got a good pop. And I think he could have done better with like a little video package or something, you know, like a strong walk-in. I don't know. It didn't hype him for me.
If only there was some sort of pay-per-view, like at some point, where he could have come out as a mystery opponent. You know, to get that good pop. You know, maybe 21st in like some sort of battle royale. I don't know. Stop me if you think I'm crazy or something, guys. You know?
I suppose it depends if it's anything to do with this creative control looking strong thing. Because if he didn't want to not win the thing, then he goes for a title shot. He has to lose to Miro because you can't just bring him in and have him beat Miro, can you?
No.
I'm not sure how they could have done it better, but they could have done it better. And Morg, you had it spoiled. Was it better or worse than you thought it was going to be?
It just happened. I know before we were doing our pre-show chat, you guys were saying you didn't like him being with Vicky. It suits Vicky's character to be bringing in the young, hot guy. I don't know if it suits Andrade's.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know if it suits Andrade's character. So it was. She may not be his manager. We'll see. I know he had a mouthpiece in Dub C. More on that later.
She was available.
Yeah. Because his English wasn't so good, but his promo was fine. So
his English was great.
Yeah, so I don't know. Right, moving on from there. Cody and Lee Johnson with Arn Anderson versus QT and Anthony Ogogo. QT pins Cody after Ogogo KOs Cody. Thoughts and scores?
Right, okay. So, I think I'm going to be the most... I'm definitely going to be more positive than Muir on this. I did laugh at the sound error on Cody's intro. That made me chuckle quite a lot. This match obviously had great wrestling, and I hated the fact it had great wrestling. Cody did that leg lock flatline, it was fucking wicked. Ogogo's got the standing boot to chest stomp, and I love that move if you can pull it off. I think it looks fucking brutal. QT's backbreaker flatliner. Lee countered the Papa Butter uppercut with a drop kick that was wicked. Ogogo Hadouken breaking a pin by leaping from the corner, and he wasn't even on camera climbing up. There was just a pin, and just suddenly he just went into the middle of it. Brilliant. We did have a couple of weak spots. Lee was a little late on that breakup, so Cody had to sort of kick out of it. And I think the dirty punch was a little... It didn't look as good as we've seen him do before. I went into this match and I was like, Ogogo is clearly pinning Lee. It's got to be done. You've got to show them as still being strong. And instead, they still went for another dirty win, which means we've got pretty much dirty wins just all over the place. That's just what's going on now. So the wrestling was good, like very good. They're all clean in the ring. They've all got it down. They know how to work together. I don't care for the story. I don't know why this match is going on, and I don't know why you couldn't have given the heels a clean win over the lesser member of your tag team. No disrespect to Lee Johnson, he's very good, but you know what I mean. So if I'd cared about the story and what was going on, this probably could have been a B, but I've kept it a C because I don't care. I don't care. I can only watch so many members of your new heel faction lose in a row. Gonna pass it over to Muir to add more negativity, I think.
Why isn't this feud over? Surely your babyface winning on your pay-per-view is the end of a fucking feud. Or is that just me? Or do we go back to irrelevant tag team matches afterwards? I don't know. I thought that was like booking 101. Your babyface wins at the pay-per-view and that's it over. The crowd was dead during this. I've never heard the crowd deader at an AEW show. There was a lot of late breakups. I enjoyed the wrestling. The wrestling was good. But why didn't Ogogo go over at the pay-per-view if we're going to start trying to push them now? Like, why did Cody need that win on the pay-per-view? I gave it a C for the actual wrestling and what was happening, because it's fine. You know, there was nothing wrong with it. But fuck me, the story is terrible for this. Awful. But I gave it a C because the wrestling was fine.
So
Morg, you positive?
AEW's answer to Triple H, who used to
Yeah.
be one of my favourites.
Oof.
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, even
Sick of
carries
him.
a sledgehammer.
Fucking sick of him.
QT taking the pin and boasting about it afterwards, I actually quite liked. I gave it a C because it was okay. It was a match, and at least the factory got the win. But
They wouldn't clean that.
you are dragging out, like as Muir said, it's just being dragged out, and I just don't care. In the grand scheme of things, I just really don't care about Cody. Fucking turn heel and go after the title.
I thought that his whole
I'll let you know though before we get there. Sorry, just to cut you off, Muir.
Yeah.
I was excited to see Nick Comoroto in a match against a member of the Nightmare family. I still had hope in that. So I'm gonna leave you with the positivity I still had at that moment in the show.
I thought that Cody
shortly.
was going to be turning heel because I thought the whole point of the story was like a meta narrative on himself, and then he would turn heel on it. But no, it's just some really shit booking. So carry on.
So then we had the Inner Circle in-ring segment, our weekly Inner Circle segment.
I'm so bored of these guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't mind this one. Yeah, no, I'll just keep going. I thought giving out free shirts was pretty nice. I think they pushed Sammy so much, and Sammy's got a lot better. He feels a little less high school theatre than the others. Hager doesn't feel less high school theatre, but he's got a bit better on the mic. I'm intrigued about an MMA cage fight.
Oh God.
They'll have to pancras it. They'll dress it up with a bit of theatre. It's going a bit more to the carnival route, shall we say. I think Jericho pulled it back nice enough at the end. I do agree that I don't think we need an Inner Circle moment every fucking episode, but I thought it was solid enough. I didn't hate the section, and it did help build to a bunch of jokes I will be making later.
Well, it was a stay, I think. Not fair.
So
go on, Morg. Positive, man.
I prefer these Inner Circle segments when they were the silly things, when they were heels, and I don't need each guy cuts a promo every week. Yes, you've got some great talkers. Yes, use them. Have a different member of the Inner Circle come out and cut a promo, or do one of your silly things again, but just do them as baby faces this time, because they'll still work because they're just silly, and they'll just be silly and likable rather than, well, they were silly and likable even when they were being heels, but you know what I mean. I think if you're going to do these, make them the group meeting or the interview thing, or the variations of a thing you were doing before. You're losing a bit of the Inner Circle silliness and your baby faces now, so you can actually be a bit more silly. I do like the biker gang gimmick. I have to admit, they look badass as fuck. And I loved the t-shirt.
Yeah, they do.
The t-shirt being a throwback to the last year's Stadium Stampede, where they ordered all those hundreds of Stadium Stampede victory t-shirts. And I believe it's the same t-shirt with 2021 stamped on it.
Brilliant.
Amazing. That makes it even better.
Yeah, the Raptor noticed that.
They're great. Don't get me wrong, but we just don't need to see them every week.
They are still the best faction in wrestling currently, in Western wrestling currently.
Yeah.
I don't watch Japanese wrestling, and I'm sure because they are great at factions. But they are definitely the best thing in Western wrestling faction wise. Right, moving on. Best friends, quick promo. Any thoughts?
I enjoyed it.
Best friends. I like the fact this is showing that everyone is slowly becoming united. We've now seen a variety of different people are starting to turn on the budget club, the elite. Though my partner did make a point now of pretty much everyone is saying it's not over yet. Like, it's a good standard thing for we've got to get our revenge, but it's everybody's like it's not over yet. I'm like, come on, if nobody else got a motivation, I just want a title. There you are. But otherwise, good. I love the best friends, and I'm glad to see more of them on TV.
Hook the belt on OC.
Put the belt on Chuck.
Oh, I prefer that, but I still think OC would have been the better choice than Kenny.
And
but they've
moving
got to
on-
build up to him being taken down.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
And
on.
we
Morg.
all know who's defeating Kenny. Following on from that, we had a Kenny and Don Callis interview. Any thoughts?
They're solid comedy healing. Them doing Jungle Boy's intro made me laugh. They always have a bit of good fun together, providing they're not given too much time.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Basically.
great.
Not long enough to rank, I'll say.
Moving on from that, Jungle Boy and Christian Cage versus Private Party with Matt Hardy. Jungle Boy wins with the snare trap. What did you guys think of the match, and what score did you give it?
Bit of a roller coaster on this one. Started off quite solid and fun. I always love Jungle Boy's rolly stuff. He does some backflips and things that no other wrestler really pulls off. I didn't like the double hip toss, but I don't like the double hurricanrana. It's not necessarily for me. And then it just sort of slowed down. I expected a much more exciting match. The break didn't help. There was a weird... it's the different P&P. Private Party dance spot. And then I just kind of got a bit bored. After what felt like an hour, Jungle Boy actually got a really good hot tag. It was pretty great. Then the pace went back to being all over the place. Did like the spear to interfere the gin and juice. Thought that was pretty badass.
Yeah.
And it had a fine finish. But otherwise, I found this match a bit dull. A bit dull and badly paced, which is a shame because I know everybody in that ring is great.
Yes, mate. I don't know what happened to this. I enjoyed Cal bringing up the story of him losing $5 to -1 like 6 months ago when he said that he shouldn't gamble, which made me laugh. Jungle Boy's really over, like really over. So, like, they really should do something with that. Hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, this match was awkward. I think is the best word for it. I don't know. Just it didn't connect. It's a C.
It wasn't a fighty match. It wasn't a spotty match.
No, it just was a bit awkward.
You gave it a C.
Why? What do you give it?
A D.
Oh, okay,
I
fine then.
I was bored.
Yeah, I was bored too, but I was trying to be nice, but I didn't hear your score. I can be evil then. D. Fuck it. I did like Matt Hardy's face at the end when he ran off, though. He did do a cheeky little grin when he ran off. That was ace. Yes, mate.
How are you, Morg? Are you positive?
I gave it a C. It was all right. It was all right.
I do quite like the style. I like Christian Cage and Jungle Boy together.
Yeah. And
but I don't need another father-dad combo.
Well, I don't think they need to be together again. I just think it's, I think what this felt like to me, and me and the Raptor both said this felt like Jungle Boy getting to tag team. You remember when Private Party wanted? Was it Private? No, it wasn't Private Party. Whoever it was who wanted to get put through Sammy Guevara wanted to get put through a table by Matt Hardy. This felt like,
and then he spent 6 months injuring him.
Yeah, this felt like Jungle Boy getting to tag up with Christian Cage, and it was all right. It wasn't a bad match. It was just there. It was a match. I think
the issue was we've been compounded by to this point where it's just like, come on now. It's been an hour. You could have put something good on the TV.
So following on from that, Team Taz promo.
Best part of the show.
Good Tazzing. Made it feel real again. Took me back to remembering I was watching wrestling. Don't have a lot of individual comments on it because I just sat and watched it. I was like, this is good. I like
the interactions were good. Good facial expressions. I loved that Ricky Stark stormed off as soon as he wasn't in the tag match. Thought that was good. I really enjoyed this.
I'm giving it a cheeky B. What did you think, Morg?
Yeah, it's all right. It's good. It's a positive. It was all right.
It's good.
That was good.
Yeah. Following on from that, Sting and Darby's weekly in-ring segments. Scorpio and Paige interrupt on the screen.
Oh.
I think my favourite part of this moment was Scorpio talking about how nice Sting smelled and Ethan Page going, it was exquisite.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
The after-theme joke was the best part.
I quite like them as wankery heels. They're exactly the sort of energy I love in wrestling, so maybe I'm not the best person. There was solid facing from Sting. He did the good guy feel. Just like a little bit like, whereas the Taz section took it back to being wrestling, this took it back to another kind of wrestling. I did feel a bit bad for Darby because he kept trying to get the mic, and when he finally got it, they cut off. And I was like, "Oh, poor Darby." But no, I quite liked it.
Yeah, the aftershave joke made me laugh, so it was solid. But I don't need to see Sting and Darby every week. Please, you have other stars.
Morg, you're our biggest.
Right.
You are our. It was all right. That was a good all right.
Oh,
It was all right. I enjoyed the
There's a lot of
promo.
that
I
this
mean,
show.
all it was a setup for the Sky and Page promo, to be fair, and that's exactly what I saw it as. It's so the live crowd, can get to see Sting, who will, in the eyes, one of the people they've come to see visually. It's like me going to a WC event. I'd want to see the Undertaker back in the day. He didn't need to do anything.
Enough,
I just want to see him. But yeah. I enjoyed the promo, but it was basically, this was just the Scorpio and Page promo. Moving on from that, we had the Brit Baker celebration segment.
Oh, great. My favourite bit.
If you look at your chair, there's a burger taped there. All the shitty heels in the ring, no connection to Brit. Free burgers! Once again, nice. I don't just imagine if there was just a taped burger under there, though. The Nyla throwing the burgers was so shocking, my Joseph Joestar toy fell over. What was this section? What was it? Just to show Nyla was the next threat for Brit?
Oh, good. We haven't seen that before.
I laughed all the way through this section, but it could have been the fact we were discussing how the ring smelled like burgers. Yeah, what was it?
A D, mate.
It's a D. I'm out of comments, boys. I'm take over.
I just don't understand. There was the clear define out of this was that your other mega heel was pissed off with Brit. And that does not a feud build for me. But the problem is, Brit was so over at the pay-per-view, and like she was saying, everyone chanted. It worries me that they're thinking of turning Brit because people are really into her, and they like
can be
her,
into heels.
Yeah, and they're chanting DMD, and it's the problem you've got is the moment that the crowd are ready to embrace your heel is when you turn them. That is
you
what
don't
it is.
need to.
But
NWO.
That is the way. And they split them up and had multiple millions of them, and you ended up with NWO Wolfpack, who were the good guys.
Yes, I'm not saying that the end of that wasn't good. I'm saying the original NWO was over as fuck.
Yeah. No, I agree. And
you can keep a heel.
But that's just what worries me. And I don't think Nyla's ready to turn yet. Nyla is ready to turn yet.
She's not ready to be in the championship again. She's been in it every time, and it's just boring.
She's a good person to beat because she's fairly solid. There was just... I don't know who Brit's opponent's going to be. And... Yeah, and I don't want a heel versus heel match because they're dull as fuck. Yeah, it was just meh from me.
I'll jot a D down, shall I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
There it is.
One burger coupon.
So, moving from that, Eddie Kingston, Pac and Penta quick backstage promo. Any thoughts?
An interesting lead into what we might see, where this might be going. I can't say it was great, but it did set some seeds, and honestly, that's how you do good storytelling. So, didn't rank it, but intriguing. Just
It wasn't long enough to be ranked.
No, I'm
No.
happy with it that they're just a bit like, we don't really want to work together. But I'm hoping it'll build to something, and it'll be all right, because I like everyone involved.
Yeah, I think
Eddie can save anything.
I think
exactly.
I think we are moving towards the everybody versus the elite slowly.
Yeah,
I think that's what we're building to.
looks like it.
So following on from that, Bunny with Blade versus Red Velvet with Kylan and Big Swole. Red Velvet wins with Just Desserts, which is a great name for a finisher and a terrible name for a finisher all
it's
at the
great
same
for
time.
a cake.
But that's the thing. It is the best and worst name for a finisher I think I've ever heard. I'm really stuck on that one.
That means it's good.
Yeah, because it's a really good name for a finisher, but it's a really terrible name for a finisher. Anyway, what did you guys think of the match? What score did you give it?
I think the opening start. Be positive. I can't. Oh, okay. Right. Well, I spent a lot of this laughing because we were like, Velvet comes out to the ring, and if you look under your chairs, there's a slice of cake. The match started a bit weird. The first move, trip into the ropes, didn't go smoothly. Bunny did pop a Naga the Serpent laugh on Slayers, which may, show some of her character. That was good. Then it slowed down for the break, which was 2 minutes in. There was a little bit of a hot moment for Velvet, where she got to do a normal repertoire of really good-looking moves. It's Velvet.
Yep.
And then it was over. And that was it.
Yes,
and I gave it a D.
Correct.
Because I thought it was bad.
I don't know what happened here. Oh, God. It just was not good, was it? I think the worst part of this was JR around halfway through saying that we've got the final match in a couple of minutes, which is just like, way to bury how long's left, JR.
I missed that. Oh, JR. More on that later.
Why do they slow down if they're in the break? These women's matches only ever 5 minutes long. Surely they just want to get everything they can into those 5 minutes, There's no reason to slow down when you're only getting 5 minutes. You may as well just go hell for leather and give us the best show you can and show you why you deserve more than 5 minutes. I'm saying they already do, but if you show us the best wrestling of the night because you only have 5 minutes, you know, there'll be more of a pushback to give you more time, I would imagine. But I don't know. That's just my feelings on it.
No, I'm with you. Morg, positivity. Go on, Morg.
I didn't write down a score for this match.
Yeah.
I didn't give this match a score. I remember Red Velvet looking good. Bunny.
She wasn't good in this.
Yeah. Bunny looking okay. It was. Yeah.
Yes, mate.
I mean, yeah, I just didn't give it a score in the end. I couldn't make a decision on it.
It's fair enough, but it's a D, sadly.
It is, mate. It's already down.
Moving over from that, we have a Dark Order backstage segment.
Why is John Silver getting a championship offering? Why is
he's got buff arms?
Okay, fair enough. But in a system where you had this silly rank system where we have to dedicate two shows to squash matches.
Wins and losses matter. Wins and losses matter, Nick. That's why John Silver gets a title match.
Except, of course, that Jungle Boy's win-loss record is, I believe, in singles is something like 0-1.
Yes, mate.
And he's the number one contender.
Quality of the match, mate.
Quality of the match,
mate. What's your favourite crisp flavour? That's how they decide. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
poor Uno's going to get destroyed by Miro.
I reckon we'll have some fun. I reckon that match will be a lot more fun than we're expecting. I think Miro will let Uno get some of his shitty spots in. Yeah.
Please.
Otherwise, yeah, Dark Order. Normal Dark Order section.
Yeah.
Cool.
And after that, we had the Miro promo.
I enjoyed this.
Holy Warrior Miro. What, the fact he's instantly mentioned his wife. Bam, she's real. There she is. Yeah, big 8 of energy.
Dedicate this to my wife that's hot. Or whatever it was. It was brilliant.
So somebody knew about that release before we did.
Yes, mate.
Yep. Yeah, good. I thought I was going to hate Miro as champion, but he's got big 80s energy, and he's a holy warrior. God has sent him.
God has sent him. I'm done with this.
How do you feel, Morg? You're the person who knew him as Rusev and likes him as big babyface energy. How do you find Holy Warrior's sexy wife, Muir?
I mean, this is old Miro. This is when he was a heel. This was just after. This was kind of when he was in that turning, and they've just changed his character. He's not the Bulgarian brute. They're not doing that. They're not playing the national card, which I'm really pleased about. It was good. It was a good, solid heel promo. Like you say, it was a good 80s solid heel promo. But he doesn't need to shout. So, it was good.
Hey, we're all coming around to heel Miro.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens when Kip comes back.
I like Miro in general. Well, now that's going to get interesting. So, finally, we finish off with our main event. Dustin Rhodes versus Nick Comoroto with Alan Solo in a bull rope match. Dustin wins.
Right, okay, let's do this. If you look under your seat, you've each got a bull rope. Yeah. The first thing I noticed was this match only had 10 minutes assigned to it, and I was like, oh, it's going to be good. Why does Dustin have the Brahma bull on the back of his coat? Just a little worry. You're going to notice a lot of observations
steal
here.
From his dad. So he needs to steal off other people.
There's going to be a lot of comments from me which aren't really related to the match. I'm pretty sure Nick Comoroto was grown in a lab by Jim Cornette to master wrestling. There was, we got a top JR moment that made me laugh when he went, headlocks, remember those? Really snarkily. But then, yeah, the match. Things I saw in this match. Comoroto threw Fuego and Albino. That happened in the crowd.
Was something.
Aaron Soto ran out for the interference spot and got smashed by Dustin, but the cameraman panned away from that for some reason. We had a break in the 10-minute match. That was slow. This style of match doesn't suit Nick Comoroto. Nick Comoroto should be in a ring doing a few power moves and, what he's built for. Yes. Can't say it really suits Dustin either, but apparently it's a speciality match. This match would have been dull for an NWA match.
Oh.
The only thing, like that, cool things. Whenever Nick Comoroto puts somebody through a table, they explode, and that's great. And near the end, there was a fucking really cool little sequence from Dustin onto Comoroto, and Comoroto got a kick out. And I was like, yeah! And then Dustin just kept on beating him. And then he won. And I gave it a D because I was bored. I didn't like it. It didn't really... I don't think Nick Comoroto looks any stronger or more powerful than he has in other matches. I think for the first big showing of Nick Comoroto in a good main event match, he looked worse than he has in other matches where people have actually beaten him. Darby versus Nick Comoroto a few months back was great because he sold him like a mini boss. Dustin sold him like he was any other wrestler. And then obviously another loss for the factory, so good work. Yeah, that's my opinions on this. What have you boys got?
Sick of it, D. Just sick of it. I can't be bothered talking about this anymore. Why is Dustin still winning? Why? Just why? Whatever. just apathy. What do you want me to say?
What kills a man with neutrality?
What do you want me to say? It's fucking crap booking.
Yeah, I was bored for 10 minutes. Come on, Morg, you've got this. You liked it, didn't you?
It got a low C because I hated the ending. I don't think the right guy won. They made such a big thing about this being Dustin's specialty match that I knew he was going to win. But it should have been Nick Comoroto. This should have been the turnaround for the factory. It only scraped the C because the match itself wasn't too bad for a bull rope match. There was lots of nice, quite hardcore moments between the two of them with the strangling, with the rope. I don't like these kind of gimmick matches anyway. I'd rather you just put each other through plates of glass and beat the crap out of each other with chairs, to be honest with you.
Commit.
Yeah, I don't like these gimmicky hardcore, not really hardcore matches with a gimmick item. The only good one I can think of is the Cody and Brody Lee one, when they did the dog collar match, which was actually, if I remember correctly, we actually quite enjoyed.
It was brutal, though.
It was brutal.
Yeah, and just and the Raptor, who used to love Goldust, turned around and gone, "I'm sick to death of seeing Dustin winning." Do you remember when he was like about to retire, and then Cody was like, "I need my brother to come and face the Young Bucks," and they went and had a pretty good match against the Young Bucks. Dustin was about to retire.
Yeah, and they had that cool match between each other, which should have been his swan song and leaving when he lost.
Do you remember when we did the first podcast and we did the best sort of old wrestlers, and our joke was that Dustin was one of them for having such great matches recently? Yeah, oh, how times change in AEW.
It doesn't work for him, brother. It doesn't work for him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just so, through the power of letter maths, I think I know where this is going.
In honesty, we've had a bit of a roller coaster from C's to D's with a little cheeky buff from Taz in the middle. We have just scraped the C line. Overall, despite the shit, we had some good wrestling, some stories got advanced, and we had some good comedy. On the other hand, the lows were particularly bad and apathy-causing, and I think ending with that has really, really sort of cost the soul of the show, shall we say. But otherwise, just great to see. I didn't hate my time watching it.
Was this the worst show that they put on this year? I'm trying to think of a worse show.
I think it might be.
I think
it was pretty bad.
I don't know. I remember we were very down on the not the last pay-per-view, the pay-per-view before's pre-show, because that's when we made the realization that they're really crap at pre-shows, at go-home shows.
If it makes you guys feel like we're being harsh or bad, the internet does seem to agree with us. There have been quite a few critical comments about that show. So... yeah, we're not breaking the paradigm.
Do you think they're just being lazy because they're on Fridays and they know nobody's watching because everyone's watching the basketball?
That's not a good reason to be lazy. Yeah.
No, but do you think that's why they're just not really putting the effort in?
I think they don't have a head booker. They don't have someone that reins in the stories to control it, to make an interwebbing sort of storyline. I think, and this is complete bullshit pulled out of my own ass, don't quote me on anything, but I think that Brody Lee may have been helping keep some of the connective tissues of it running by the way that the show is slowly getting worse since he's been gone. And I think that something there has happened or something's gone wrong and it feels like it's slowly falling apart. But I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but I don't know. It feels like the wheels...
music plays.
Yes, mate. It feels like the wheels are coming off a bit to me from how it's been going recently. There needs someone with a strong hand just to correct the ship, I feel. It's not like end of the world yet, but, you know, I would just like it to be better. That's the main thing.
So come back next week.
Who knows? They've turned around on us before.
For our shows on Impact.
The Stardom podcast.
If they do a weekly. So, moving on. Now it's time for questions. And I believe, Mr. Strange, you have something for us in this area.
I do. It's only a small question I got passed by one of our listeners, who called Rip Steakface, long-lasting listener, and he's actually phrased it in one of the original catchphrases. I'm going to let you boys answer. I think we should answer this for each other, better, because it's a hard one to pick. Who is your favourite wrestler in AEW, and why is it Luchasaurus? It's not Dino Moore. Who is my favourite wrestler in AEW? Who do I go on about the most?
Max
is it
Max Caster or Gallows or Pac, I'd say.
Two shitlords and the Terminator.
And Penta.
I do fucking love Penta.
But Penta is bleed over from another place.
Yeah, he's not reached peak Penta yet, and sadly I'm not a fan of his Joker gimmick because I'm not that much of a DC fanboy.
No.
It's really good, and it's beautifully designed, but it's not for me. I miss Ninja Skeleton. I do love Max Pac and Anybody who's a shitlord. Gallows. He's gonna puke. All right, okay, you two. Oh,
Muir's
let's have a look.
pack.
I do
Yours
love
is pack,
Pac.
just flat pack. His
Yeah,
pack.
it's Pac.
He's got a cheeky love for Gallows as well, but that's just the fact he went to boys' school, so he's accustomed to perpetual shit talking. Morg. Is it Derby? It was Derby. Is it still Derby? Oh, you're
It's
coming round to
Lance
Lance,
at the
though.
moment.
It's
Yeah.
Lance at the moment. You're fucking loving Lance.
There's two. There's two, and you've got one of them. The other
Yeah.
one should be. The other one should be really obvious.
Bang!
No,
Shoot
but we haven't seen him very much, and I've not made as big a thing about him.
Oh, let me have a think.
We have seen him, obviously. He's one of the top guys. I will drop you a hint. It is a baby face.
Is it? Oh, an actual baby face.
Yeah.
Oh god, my brain's gone dead. Come on, think of the good guys, Matthew. I know you only focus on the bad guys. There are good guys. I know you love Mox. Don't think it's Mox.
It's not Mox. I do like Mox, yeah.
Not Eddie.
You do like Mox.
I do
Eddie's
like
not a
Eddie as
baby
well
face.
now, yeah.
Who else do you like? Who's another
It's definitely
baby
not
face?
Cody.
No, it's not fucking Cody.
Remember we loved Cody.
Remember when
God.
Cody was the best baby
Bro, that's
face
Cody.
ever?
Yeah.
Mate, remember some of those early promos? Oh god, they were good.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Jericho?
Fuck
Oh, actually,
Ooh.
it's okay. So there's three. Yeah,
Okay.
there's
Jericho's
three.
ace.
Go on, Morg, just give us the list. I've forgotten a
It's-
wrestler
so
from
currently,
AEW.
probably my favourite guys are Lance, Jericho, and Hangman.
Oh, Hangman, yeah.
Oh, fucking Hangman!
Hangman's
Yeah, of course,
music
he's-
hits,
Oh, we
and
all love
I
Hangman.
will pop for Hangman's music.
I think we can all add Hangman to our favourites. I think he's the most universal favourite here, from a mixture of wrestling ability to how he's grown as a character to just being able to fucking act.
Do
And
you
seem
remember
to
how
be a really
much
good
you
guy
guys
in the real
hated
world.
Hangman at the beginning?
Yes, mate.
Mate,
I
we fucking
fucking hated him.
Brit.
I used to
hated Hangman,
boo him
hated
when he
Brit.
came on the screen. When I first saw
Hated
him.
Dark Order.
Yeah.
So sadly, our favourite AEW wrestler is no longer Luchasaurus. It seems to be Pac, and a universal Hangman. Like if we had to pick one to represent us as a group, I think it's currently Hangman.
Yeah. Or
God,
Lucha
imagine saying that
or
2 years
Lucha
ago.
Underground Penta.
Oh.
Bring him back! Oh, he's so good. We'll get him.
So yeah, if you've got a question for us, you can send it to wrestleopinionated@gmail.com, WrestleOP on Facebook, and WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Right, to finish off this show, because we haven't done any sort of segments or anything, we've decided we're going to do a thing called Random Pitches, which happened at the beginning before we were having our chat, and we're just going to throw some shitty ideas that we've got for pitches for things, and I'm going to open, because we were talking about the Andrade. So Andrade is with Vicky. I feel that he's just going to use Vicky completely.
Yep.
And he'll just use her basically to just get his foot in the door and what have you. Like I said, he fits. They've done this kind of storyline before with Vicky, and she's really good at it. Where she can be all over the toy boy, and he's not really interested. And then he will bring in his real manager. And I don't believe can she be Selena Vega?
No. No, Vega I don't think's actually... No, it is trademarked. Yes.
Yeah.
No, she can't be.
But former Selena Vega, when her husband or partner, I think it's husband, I think they are married,
Alistair Black.
Big Alistair Black, I believe big mates
she's
with
married to
Andrade
Aleister
as
Black.
well.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, I believe Charlotte.
She was Rosita in TNA, so there you go.
There we go. Yeah, so
Got you back with a name.
thank you. Yeah, so I think Selena will come in and be his proper mouthpiece, and yeah, we can redo that pairing, and I think that'll pop the crowd. And I think Selena would be a great addition to the women's division, because she's actually really good.
Shout out for Zach Alistair Black and Abaddon as their horror film team duo.
Oh.
That's what he recommended to me the other day.
Oh,
so I was like, that's actually a really good idea.
I am
So I thought I'd mention it here.
down with that.
The goths kicked off, guys. Look at it.
To be honest, I
it'd work really
like
well.
old school horror characters. And Alistair Black's more
I don't know
metal.
why Ryzen isn't involved.
Oh,
You've got
Why
Ryzen.
isn't
He's an
Ryzen
evil
involved?
priest.
yeah, he's literally an evil priest.
Why is he not
He could
with?
fucking Paul Bearer for her.
Why is he not with Vicky and? Oh yeah, I like Ryzen with Abaddon because I think she needs a
Yeah, see?
mouthpiece. She might be a great talker, but unfortunately, she's 100%
Okay.
kayfabing the gimmick.
Yeah.
And so I think she needs a talker. I
Which
think-
means there's no way to go, I want to beat you, other than running out and
Only
slapping
there was
them.
an
But that doesn't
evil
actually help
priest
you.
that could have raised
Yeah.
her up or something.
well,
you
just
know?
be an evil priest. I like the
Yeah.
idea of her and Alistair Black as a weird pairing as well.
I've got another hot
Right.
take. Dustin Rhodes loses the match. I know it's a bit out there, boys.
Son.
I know.
Easy.
I know.
Easy now. Mine, I'm going to bring up what I would have done instead of Leo Rush. I'm sorry, Leo.
Go on.
And it's not just bring out Andrade.
Yep.
So we had Big Show setting up that Royal Rumble. He was the announcing man.
Yep.
So before the show, we have Big Show being harassed by the wingmen. I believe some of the wingmen were in the Rumble. If not, I'm replacing some of the lesser people with the wingmen. Because you need some comedy shit-eaters in this. They can
Okay.
harass it, give him a bit of a bully, call him big and fat and he'll never be sexy, whatever. And they could possibly scare him out of the ring, because obviously he didn't actually really announce the whole thing. It was good. And then number 21 hits. It's fucking Captain Insano from The Waterboy, who was played by Big Show. Runs out. He's in his comedy gimmick. He's a heel, so he can poke some eyes and throw people about. He doesn't have to win it. You can make him look big, and it can come down to him being thrown out by Christian Cage and Jungle Boy, because obviously you don't want him to win. It's a comedy spot. And I think people would have popped. Wouldn't you have popped for a Big Show running out laughing to himself in a comedy heel, like 1950s costume?
I would love it if then he never mentioned it ever again.
Yeah,
Other
exactly.
people would be like, why did you come out the Rumble? He's like, I didn't come out the Rumble. Just completely deny it.
You get BTE spots of looking for Captain Insano, stuff like that. Yeah, just completely no sell it. It's just Captain Insano. Who is that masked man? Obviously, it's Big Show.
Yes, mate. That'd be brilliant. I'd love it.
I mean, obviously, the big brain choice would have been using Andrade, but here we are.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
awesome.
why I'm really confused by their booking, boys. Like, if you had Andrade to come out as your big pop for your pay-per-view, why not?
We might be hitting too many cooks level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I do think that Strange called it earlier with the creative thing. I don't think debuting Leo Rush and Leo Rush not winning was not a big thing. I think
I get you.
debuting Andrade, I think you want Andrade running strong. It's going to be interesting because he's a heel, and
You can.
so all the titles are held by heels at the minute. I have no idea who Andrade is going to feud with at all.
Who knows?
I would have. I've been thinking on the big brain. He could have ran out, done a bunch of good stuff, looked great, and then get heel taken out by a member of the Elite or whatever, because he's already said he's coming back for his AAA title that was already his.
Yes, mate.
From Kenny. Kenny could be like, no, hit him with a chair or something.
Gallows and Anderson sneakily get him removed or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a million ways you could have done it. Obviously, we're going to see a bunch of dirty losses from Andrade because they're not going to fire him straight up the card.
I think I think one of the mistakes is actually bringing him in as a heel. I think what Dubsy did in NXT with him was best, where they brought him in as I think he was a bit of a likable goofball babyface. And then Selena turned up and
traditional
went, stop doing this. And he started winning when she was with him, and he became a heel. And he became an obnoxious heel. And I think that was probably been the better way to do it. I think you should have brought him in as a babyface, got the pop. You could have had him heel taken out. You could play up the AAA versus Kenny, so it's more story. You're giving the, especially with Kenny 3 belts or 5 belts or whatever he is at the minute.
Yeah.
And you could have, and I think you could have played
3.5.
Andrade unless Andrade is due to beat Kenny for it in AAA. Which is,
I think he's just signed to all of these. We'll have to look at his contract.
Yeah, so that could just
and
be
other research I should have done in advance.
That could be another AAA, just fun match. But I honestly
hopefully
think...
it leads to more crossover universe stuff.
Yes.
Get Rush, restart Los Ignorables. He's in Impact. Come on.
Yeah.
We steal everybody anyway. Come over here.
You just want Naito to turn up, don't you?
I just want Naito. Yeah, I just.
Oh,
want
dude,
Naito.
no hair conditioner club. When no hair conditioner club turns up, crowd's gonna go wild, mate.
Mayu and Naito take the belts.
Bring
back
Maki
and the
Ito.
tags together.
Bring back Maki Ito would be a good start for them. It would bring actually some
She could have been the
character.
21st person.
I mean, if she'd come out and just been annihilated instantly, I would have popped.
It's true, but people get mad at intergender wrestling because they're scared of ladies.
I think,
What if she ran out and just got instantly thrown over as soon as she landed in the ring? No one would complain about that, surely.
Yeah, she could have just run literally through the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
anyway.
in fact, doesn't even need to be touched. They could have just held the rope. Somebody could have just done the rope pull down on the other side, so they wouldn't even needed to touch her.
I mean, she would have got a bigger pop than
Yeah.
anyone else.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Captain Insano.
But yeah, I really
Not
like
Andrade, no.
I still want my Maki Ito Abaddon feud.
I mean, it would be hilarious.
It would be great.
Yeah.
We'll
That's what I want.
hopefully one day when they
I want
remember
Maki
that
to-
women's wrestling matters.
No,
Yeah.
only Brit. There is only Brit.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Banty will be
Positive
back.
note, boys. Bill. You watch. Next week's show will be fucking great. We'll have to look back on this with... Well,
Yeah.
they'll have to look back on this with shame.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
Well, hopefully
Shab,
this
Tony.
hopefully the internet backlash will give them a kick up the arse.
Yeah,
can
fingers
hope
crossed. They
for.
are very social media aware.
Yeah.
The only thing you can expect, really, if people don't tell you you're doing a bad product this week, you're never going to know that you've, failed.
Exactly.
So you need people to be
And we are
critical of your
those
product.
people.
Yes. 3
Just want you
Midlands
to be-
guys on a podcast.
Just want you to be good, guys.
Yeah.
I love wrestling. I don't want to have to be disappointed when I spend 2 hours of my time watching it.
Yeah, come on, guys. We've not had an A
Looking forward
show
to
for a while.
boys. Bring
I
it
don't
on. I'm sure. You don't know.
No, I'm
That'll
actually
be
positive for show 2 because I think they'll actually get some of the mid card out on it, and I like their mid card a lot. So
Mid carders are always the best.
I think
I know, mate.
Show 2 might help because it's going to stop the roster from feeling so bloated.
That will help
Yeah,
us a lot.
exactly that.
And you
Yeah.
can feed in more. They just need to make it like Lucha Underground.
Yeah, just give us a full fucking supernatural
If you go back through some of our past episodes, they are all up on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. You will be able to find an episode where was it the 3 of us, or was it just me and Strange? Was it back in the old days?
AEW Massive Explosion. I can't
AEW Massive
remember, mate.
Explosion when we created our second show. Anyway, there you have it. That's our show. That's our thoughts for the weeks. If you want to find us, we are Wrestleopinionated on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. I want to thank Anchor.fm for hosting the podcast. Over to you, Muir.
I'll try to be more positive next time. I'll put a little picture of Mayu on my screen beforehand to try and cheer me up. Thank you as always for listening, guys. It was great. I hope I'd have to show on the show again next week. I hope it's better. If you'd like to send in any of your questions to wrestleopinionated@gmail.com, WrestleOP on Facebook, or WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Over to you, Strange.
Once again, thank you for listening. We do really appreciate it. I hope we're, if we're not positive, we're at least entertaining. And if you were entertained, why not give us a little thumbs up? Why not click that little share button? Subscribe. Ring the little bell. Don't even know what that does. click the
Words.
little 5-bar thing on Spotify. Words. Yeah, if you could just share, like, subscribe, whatever the little buttons are, and whatever your listening means is, that means a lot to us. And thank you for listening. Back to you, Morg.
So all that's left to be said is goodbye and good night.